Hello everyone! Welcome to a new Polyship challenge. Let's get some long hugs going, shall we? That's how I call it in my head. The official name is Hug Your Partners Until They Make You Let Go challenge. So, yay! Hugs! We love hugs. Starting with TeruShouEnnoTana, simply because I need this part out of the way, because I have another piece into their storyline prepared, and I cleverly wrote this after that part was done, and I didn't put the story points there. So yes, this has to come first, then the other part of their storyline. You get what I'm saying, okay? Yeah, right. As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who subscribe and watch these videos. You're keeping this channel alive and going. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy. Yeah. Oh, hello. What is this? Who cares? Hello, new friends. I care. What is this? A group chat. For a challenge. Oh yes, please. I was wondering who will take the wheel next. Oh, is this the same stuff Shigeru talked about before? Yep, Ehaba-san already suggested one before. So what are we doing this time? I'm glad you are already familiar with the concept. Anyway, I was thinking recently, and I think I have a great challenge. Which is to hug your partners until they make you let go. Aw, that's sweet. I'm in, no questions asked. Me too. Wait, don't agree to anything until you know there aren't any additional betrayals. No betrayals, I promise. I just feel like hugging my lovelies, and I thought you could appreciate it too. A few more hugs never killed anyone. Okay, then I suppose it's fine. Wouldn't you get a better reaction if you chose the more shy one from each relationship? Probably, but then it couldn't be me coming up with it, could it? I think it can still give you some good reactions, and you get hugs out of it if nothing else. That's true. Besides, we will get the shy boyfriend reaction, just from the other side. Poor Daishou. What do you mean? I'm nothing but gentle to Suguru. Okay, settle down. Are you in, Kunime? I guess so. Great. Go ahead then, give your boyfriend some love. Terushima had to hold back quite a lot to not start rubbing his hands in excitement. Given the nature of the challenge, there was no way it would end in failure. How could it when he was about to get hugs thanks to it? Even if his boyfriends made him let go immediately, it was worth it. Now, just make sure they won't. For that, he supposed he had to be patient and choose the right moment. Which was easier said than done, since he had never been known for being patient when it came to his beloveds and affection. With the sole exception of Daishou, but that was a special case. Shrugging, he returned to making breakfast for them, from which he was interrupted by the chat creation, adding a few last touches to make the plates and bowls look presentable and hopefully appetizing. Good first impression, eating with ice and all that. Don't tell me you woke up earlier just to make us breakfast. Terushima grinned over his shoulder. Not on purpose, but since I was awake anyway, I could as well make your morning a bit more pleasant. Enoshita seemed surprised at first, but then his expression melted into a soft smile. He leaned in for a kiss, gently squeezing Terushima's side. What a sweetheart you are. You can say that again. Nah, that would inflate your ego too much. And what would we do then? Pouting, Terushima ostentatiously turned away, though his heart fluttered at the sound of Enoshita's laugh. A moment later, another kiss landed on his cheek. Come on, don't be all pouty now. We all know you are amazing. Terushima grinned contentedly this time, deciding to go for the challenge there and then. He wrapped his arms around Enoshita's waist and squeezed him to his chest, nuzzling into the crook of his neck. He could actually purr with bliss when Enoshita ruffled his hair, the familiar comfort of having his boyfriend in his arms seeping through his skin and warming his heart. Only a few things could equal to this feeling, and Terushima always made sure to savor it to the maximum. "You're really snuggly today, aren't you?" "So, it's not like I'm quiet about loving to hug you." "Yeah, I know. Especially when Ryu is around, huh?" The light, teasing tone in Enoshita's voice made him grumble. As if it was his fault Tanaka got so adorably pouty whenever someone else hugged Enoshita in front of him. I wonder how he would react if Sugu did that. Hopefully he would know to hold back in that case. Though Sugu doesn't go for hugs from his own initiative, so it doesn't matter right now, I suppose. He shook his head and gently tugged Enoshita closer to him. He had more important things to do now, namely hugging his beloved. Other stuff could wait. Yuji? Not that I'm complaining about the hugs, but the breakfast will get cold if we don't eat it soon. I mean, shouldn't we wait for you and Sugu to wake up too anyway? It will get stone cold if we do. They seemed very content sleeping in. So, unless you want to wake them up yourself, I suggest we eat and make something for them later. Terushima let out a soft whine, not wanting to let go for anything in the world, or eat without everyone present. However, he didn't want to eat a cold omelette either, and just imagining ruining Daishou's so much needed sleep just for the sake of breakfast made him feel awful too. Not even talking about the fact Tanaka would chew his head off if he woke him up before his alarm clock. Yet... Can I still hug you though? Please? A soft chuckle bubbled in Enoshita's throat as he patted his hair again, before gently pushing into his shoulder. It would be difficult to eat like that. Please? Yuji, my lovely sunshine, I promise I'll let you cuddle me after breakfast. But now let me eat that delicious food you made. Terushima shivered a bit with the pet name and praise, the pleasant shivers staying even after he reluctantly let go. Alright, but I'll have you keep your word. I need my snuggles, or I'm going to die at work today. He swooned a bit for the dramatic effect, earning another amused chuckle and a kiss on top. In that case, I'll make sure to cuddle you extra. He gently pinched Terushima's cheek. We can't risk anything, can we? Barely holding back from jumping in excitement, Terushima returned to the kiss and put one of the plates into Enoshita's hand. He hoped he could get a bit longer hug that morning, but as long as he had Enoshita's promise, it was alright. They settled opposite each other to the table, deeming it too cold to go sit outside, and easily slid into a comfortable hushed conversation about their plans for the day until their plates were empty and Terushima could resume the long-desired hug. He no less than skipped over the threshold of their home, feeling full of energy despite spending the whole day at work. But working with people he liked barely counted as work, and since he didn't have a single bad client that day, he supposed he had the right to be happy. And on top of that, he got to continue with the challenge too. What was there not to be happy about? I'm home! The only answer he got was a grumbled welcome coming from somewhere in the living room. Apparently, Tanaka was of a different opinion. With a furrowed brow, Terushima searched for the source of the voice, finally finding Tanaka lying on the couch and staring at the ceiling. Everything okay with you? Yeah, everything is fine. I'm just enjoying the beauty of our ceiling. You should try it too sometimes. It's very entertaining. Terushima grimaced. You don't have to be so sour. I just asked. He settled on the couch handrest and gently scratched Tanaka's short hair, to his joy feeling his boyfriend lean into the touch. What got you so down? I think I messed up at work today. I'm not even that mad about it, but it's just so frustrating, you know? What happened? Sighing heavily, Tanaka got up, letting out some of the frustration through a groan muffled by his palms before he leaned back. So, we have a new manager, right? He hasn't had the spot for more than a week and he already came up with a new set of rules for trainers. Like we can't have more than 5 minutes between clients, or that we have to come in even on our day off if the client wants to exercise, and similar bullshit. He even told us we can't refuse a client if they make us uncomfortable. Would you believe that? The heck? So you can't do anything even if your client was harassing you? That's bullshit. I know. So I told him to shove those rules when the sun doesn't shine. Terushima snorted. Sure you were this polite. I may or may not send him to the same place, after telling him to kindly kiss my ass with his rules. Let me guess, he didn't like it. Ding ding, correct answer. And judging by how red he was when he was leaving, I'm sure he'll fire me before the end of the week. Shifting to sit next to him, Terushima gently nudged his side, giving him what he hoped was a reassuring smile. I'm sure it's going to be fine. He can't just fire you without giving you a warning first. And even if he did, would it be such a loss? I mean, I would gladly leave from my own initiative if those stupid rules will get implemented, but we would lose an income like that. And we still have free, remember? Tanaka huffed, but Terushima was sure he didn't imagine the shadow of smile on his lips. I guess. Encouraged by his apparent success in making his boyfriend feel a bit better, Terushima threw his arms around Tanaka's shoulders, grinning when Tanaka gave him an incredulous and slightly distrustful glance. What are you doing? Hugging you, duh. Why? What do you mean, why? Because I'm your boyfriend and you're struggling, so I'm offering my support and affection. Narrowing his eyes, Tanaka tried to pull away a bit, but because Terushima didn't let go, only succeeded in pulling them a bit aside on the couch. State your intentions and plans, you fiend. Terushima pouted, but still didn't let go, determined to get the challenge going for as long as possible. How dare you call me a fiend? I'm your loving boyfriend. I have no hidden agenda other than making you feel better. But fine, whatever, be like this. I'll take my love and affection elsewhere. Zuko will be home soon. I'm sure he will appreciate it. He pretended to pull away and barely managed to hide the smile when, as expected, Tanaka grabbed his hands to keep his arms where they were. Neither of them said anything, not even when Terushima laid his head on Tanaka's shoulder and relaxed, opting to not tease him further. Tanaka seemed to relax too, almost melting into Terushima's arms as he snuggled deeper into the embrace. Suguru can get in line. This time, Terushima didn't manage to hold back the smug smile, and while he was sure Tanaka would clear the space the second Daishou showed even a hint of interest in getting hugged, it was adorable to hear his otherwise oh-so-tough boyfriend admitting he wanted to be cuddled rather than the other way around. As Enoshita always said, sometimes it was good to switch things up. Hence why the challenge was such a brilliant idea. He wasn't sure how long he held Tanaka when he felt even the last bits of tension melt away from his body. But the exact time wasn't of importance. At that point, he was just glad he got to help his boyfriend relax, with the added bonus of spending time together. Is it bad to say I'm surprised you care so much? Terushima paused, humming in confusion. You thought I didn't care about you? No, that's not it. Sorry, that came out wrong. I meant after what happened last month. With the argument and my stupidity. Clicking his tongue, Terushima tightened his embrace a bit. He understood where Tanaka was coming from, but the implication still offended him. You apologized already, didn't you? And you know that what you said hurt and why. I jumped in on reflex because Suguru was scared of you, but you two are fine now, right? That's important. Tanaka watched him for a while in silence before he leaned back into Terushima's chest, letting out a relieved breath. Yeah. You are incredible, you know. Nah, I just love you too much to hold a grudge. To that, Tanaka straightened again and cupped Terushima's cheek, bringing their lips together. Terushima hummed contentedly into the kiss, pushing forward a bit to keep it going for even a bit longer. Long gone were the times when Tanaka was the worst kisser he had ever met. Practice makes perfect, eh? He smiled to himself, nudging their noses together before leaning for one more kiss. Love you too, for everything you are. He rushed home, perhaps even more excited than the day prior. Since he managed to finish sooner that day, he had the best opportunity to do the challenge with Daishou without getting interrupted. And keep him company too. He frowned a bit, recalling his own words from after the strange intrusion into their home. The promise to never leave Daishou alone in the house. And yet, as of lately, the time Daishou spent home alone greatly outweighed the time they had spent together. And while Daishou never complained, Terushima could see how relieved he always was when they came home. We should do something about it. However, that was easier said than done, since their jobs weren't exactly friendly to 3 days or leaving early. He sped up even more, the urge to get home as soon as possible fueling his movement all the way to their doorstep. Barely able to keep his excitement at bay, he left his bag in the hallway and headed straight to the kitchen, from where he could already smell the nicest scent of dinner being cooked. As expected, he spotted Daishou by the stove, apparently fully focused on the sizzling pieces of fish in front of him. Terushima paused to watch him for a second or two, a soft smile curling his lips before he knocked on the counter to alert Daishou to his presence. I'm home. Daishou still jumped a bit, but not nearly as much as he used to, a smile of his own brightening his features. Oh, welcome. Sorry, I didn't hear you over the noise. That's okay. What delicacy are we having today? Daishou blushed and averted his gaze briefly, the sight making Terushima's heart skip a beat. It's just the fish and some vegetables. Nothing special. Nonsense. Anything you prepare is special. Just like you. Much to his delight, the crimson spread further into Daishou's cheeks as he quickly turned back to the stove, making him look absolutely adorable. Before he could stop himself, Terushima crossed the short distance between them and instinctively wrapped his arms around Daishou's waist from behind, nuzzling deep into the crook of his neck. He knew he made a mistake the moment he felt Daishou freeze in his arms, the strangled, startled cry escaping his mouth, pushing the invisible dagger of guilt deeper into his chest. He let go of him immediately and backed away, but even that was too late. Just like when they started seeing each other, Daishou's eyes watched him widened and filled with fright, his breathing rapid and shallow, and hands perhaps instinctively shielding his throat as he pushed himself into the corner. And Terushima could swear he heard his heart shatter. "I'm sorry, love. I didn't mean to do this. I'm sorry." He would gladly kick himself for letting his muscle memory take charge. That was a mistake belonging to the past, not to present when he knew what triggered Daishou's bad memories. And yet, he kept his distance despite wanting nothing more than to hug his boyfriend to tell him he was safe, that there was nothing he would have to be scared of from him. But that would just lead to a complete disaster. "Please don't be scared. I'm not going to hurt you, I swear." Daishou let out a shaky breath, slowly, as if reluctantly letting his hands fall to his sides. Yet he stayed as he was, still watching Terushima's every movement like a small animal trapped in a cage. Was that force of habit? Yes. I'm so sorry. I was so excited I'm with you I forgot myself. But I won't hurt you. I could never. I can go away if you want, until you feel safe again. I won't bother you, I swear. No. Stay, please. I'm fine. He pushed himself away from the counter, his movements still somewhat uncertain as he walked back to the stove to turn it off before the fish could burn. "You just surprised me." "I know. I'm sorry." The tension hanging in the air slowly dissipated, but Terushima wasn't blind to not see the trembling of Daishou's hands when he handled the pen, nor the fact he started on the breathing exercise his therapist recommended to him for calming down. Seeing that hurt perhaps even more than the initial fear in Daishou's eyes. Unsure what to do with himself, Terushima cleared his throat, keeping his hands behind his back to prevent himself from doing something stupid again. "Well, do you want help with anything? I'm no cook, but I can set the table if you want." Daishou paused for a beat before he lowered his eyes to the counter, biting his lip. "Could you hug me again?" "Huh? Are you sure? I mean, I would love to, but it's fine. It's like with horse riding. You have to get back into the saddle when you fall so you don't start to be afraid." He looked up again, his eyes still widened but determined. "It's okay, I promise. Just don't hug me from behind, please. And no touching your neck or throat. I know. I'll be careful, I swear." He let Daishou take everything at his own pace and only opened his arms, waiting patiently until Daishou hugged him back. He took care only to squeeze him lightly to not frighten him again, hoping it would be enough to expiate for his stupidity. "All good?" "Yeah. Okay, that's good." He pulled Daishou a bit closer, relief washing over him when Daishou didn't protest and even leaned more into him. It probably didn't count for the challenge, but that was the last thing on his mind. He just needed to make sure Daishou knew he didn't have to be scared of him. Nothing else mattered. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a sweet challenge once again. I am quite happy about that. Now, yes, the next video that's going to come out is 100% going to be the new part for TeruShouEnnoTana storyline. Before you roll your eyes about the storyline, that one is going to be Terushima focused, pretty much, and also set up for stuff that some of you asked for. So keep an eye out on that. There are going to be some new arrival in the story, so take whatever you want from that. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time!